Camp is camp. It's tough, but it's for me to want to push myself. This is what I do, this is what I live for. I'm ready for battle. I feel like I'm getting stronger, and I feel by the time the fight comes, I'll be at peak performance.
He's on a dimly lit gym, air thick with the muted hum of early morning machines. A title card snaps in. Day one camp begins. Anthony Joshua steps through the frame, his expression grave, controlled, familiar with the territory, but never dulled by it. Camp is camp, he says, as if stating a universal law. It's tough.
One more. One more. Beautiful. Good. That's what we've got to bring him on to. Nobody can take them.
This is what I do. This is what I live for. I'm ready for battle. The narration folds in over slow motion shots of tape being wrapped, bags being hit, coaches pacing like generals preparing for a campaign. Joshua understands the ritual intimately.
Vegas, the second leg of the training camp. I'm feeling energized, I'm feeling refreshed. So yeah, come inside, have a look what's going on. Tough training, tough lifestyle, rough and tough. But listen, how else would I want it? I love it. So what am I bringing differently? I wouldn't say a new mindset, but definitely like a new perspective. But ultimately, everything new has to lead to a win. So yeah, that's what I'm focused on right now, just winning.
Every rep is a promise. Every drop of sweat is a contract with the version of himself he refuses to be again. Training camp is not merely preparation. It is the place where his identity is sharpened and tested. With a projected clash against Jake Paul emerging on the horizon, Joshua's voice carries a sense of inevitability, as though the world has placed him here for one singular purpose: to prove again that world-level experience isn't a title but a burden that demands reaffirmation. Music rises, slow, metallic, deliberate. Joshua repeats that battle is what he lives for, sealing the tone for the long road ahead. This is not excitement. It is duty. It is the calm before an unavoidable collision.
Earlier that Anthony Joshua still didn't have an opponent for his next fight, but he was thinking of still fighting before the end of the year. And we've got some breaking news for you now, because we're hearing that AJ is in talks with Jake Paul over a deal for a heavyweight fight in Miami next month. Of course, the YouTuber Paul has already fought the former heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson, and beaten him. And he's now in talks with Anthony Joshua with a view to the two of them fighting in Miami next month.
Cut to Las Vegas. Neon buzzing, heat rising from pavement, desert winds carrying the scent of ambition and danger. Joshua walks through it with renewed energy. Energized, he says. Refreshed. The documentary narration contrasts the city's chaos with Joshua's controlled focus. Vegas is a second crucible, where fighters reinvent themselves or break under the lights. The preparation intensifies. Altitude masks, strength circuits, sparring sessions where each blow echoes like a warning to the outside world. Joshua looks like a man who has shed one version of himself and stepped into another.
With training camp, it's grueling, like, there's no doubt about that, but you just need to have a clear mind and be optimistic and run towards challenges every day. And that's how I'm able to get through, is just the perspective I have on what suffering looks like. There's a certain standard that one has to have if they want to achieve certain things. I am working past efforts, measures that I set out for myself. Yes, it's tough. Yes,
The pacing quickens. Jump cuts of drills, sweat flying, coaches shouting corrections. The narrator frames Vegas as a metaphor. This is the city where spectacle thrives, where truth and illusion collide. Joshua trains as though determined not to be consumed by the circus, but to impose reality upon it. Refreshed, he repeats, not as comfort, but as threat. His body language says he understands what a high-profile, unpredictable fight demands. Not more bravado, but deeper clarity. Vegas becomes the second battlefield, the place where physical preparation fuses with psychological conviction. The scene softens. Cooler colors, quieter pacing.
Telling Ring Magazine, Anthony Joshua, your man, and Jake Paul are finalizing a deal for a December heavyweight fight in Florida. True or false?
I mean, the gun was jumped a little bit and fired early. There have been conversations. For us, we were flirting with the idea of having this little 8-round fight this year. Not with Jake Paul, by the way, because he was fighting Gervonta Davis.
Yeah, that's no.
But we were going to go on a other card somewhere. You wouldn't have really heard of the person we were going to fight. But AJ wanted to go through the motions, wrap the hands, and just gear up to what is really in the works with Turki Al-Sheikh, which is 2 fights in 2026, and that includes Tyson Fury. That's the plan for Turki Al-Sheikh.
Joshua sits in an empty ring, hands wrapped, eyes level with the camera. It's not a new mindset, he says. It's a new perspective. The narrator expands on it. After years at the top, the challenge isn't awakening hunger. It's reshaping it, refining it, ensuring it doesn't become complacency. Joshua emphasizes that anything new must culminate in a win. The line lands with weight. It becomes a thesis for the entire camp. Clips flash, Joshua running alone at dawn, studying film in silence, pushing through exhaustion. The documentary tone deepens. This is the internal battle, the part unseen by crowds.
Extremely dangerous for Jake Paul. You know, I've got the general feedback is the boxing world saying, please, AJ, go in and evaporate this young man from the boxing world so we can all get on as normal. You've got Jake Paul fans thinking bizarrely they can beat Anthony Joshua. And the most bizarre thing out of everything is that Jake Paul genuinely believes he will beat Anthony Joshua. I think that's the only reason we're going to see this fight, but I truly believe.
The new perspective is about accountability, evolution, holding himself to standards only he understands. The pacing slows, then rises again as the narration frames this moment as the emotional hinge of the story, the veteran refusing stagnation. Joshua's voice overlays, "Be clear, be optimistic, face suffering head on." The words strike like commandments etched onto the walls of his training camp. The paragraph closes with a quiet but powerful implication. The only thing that validates perspective, any perspective, is victory. And he knows it. A hard news clip cuts in. Studio lighting, pundits talking fast. Rumors swirl, Joshua versus Paul. December 2025, Miami. The documentary narrator immediately adds tension. Later clarified, nothing is final. Eddie Hearn enters the frame, speaking with that blend of promoter confidence and cautious realism.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, 50-50 fight. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ, I mean, decapitates a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh, well, it was Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ...
Standard professional rules, he confirms. 10-ounce gloves, regular rounds, not an exhibition. But then the twist. 50-50 chance. The pacing tightens. Graphics show negotiations like moving puzzle pieces, contracts, dates, networks. The tone sharpens. This is the business engine behind the spectacle. Analysts are split. Some call it bold. Others call it reckless. For Joshua, the fight represents an odd but lucrative chapter.
This is the entertainment business. And Anthony Joshua is an entertainer. And you can't undo the fact that he won the World Heavyweight Championship twice. And he fought in some great fights.
So why does he need this?
Because he's in the business of entertainment. And if an opportunity is presented to him and someone wants to say that we can monetize this to the huge levels that are potentially available, why wouldn't you? It's a walk in the park.
You see, you're not having Saturday night.
Because I know
many people wouldn't have this.
I'm not having...
Because this isn't a proper fight where a Saturday night is.
But I don't think this is a proper... I don't think...
For Jake Paul, it could be the defining moment, or the one that breaks everything he's built. The narrator stresses the uncertainty. In boxing, nothing exists until both fighters walk into the ring. The energy builds, anticipation mixed with doubt. This paragraph hits like a warning siren. Analysts appear in stark lighting, speaking in clipped, serious tones. Risky, potentially catastrophic, a mismatch of experience. The documentary moves faster, highlighting Paul's comparatively shallow resume against Joshua's deep heavyweight pedigree. The stakes are enormous, especially for Paul, whose career hangs between ambition and danger. Narrators question whether entertainment is overpowering sporting legitimacy. Joshua landing a thundering right hand in a past fight. Paul scoring his own knockout in slow motion, headlines spinning, cameras flashing, a final stare-down graphic flickering on screen, not confirmed, not guaranteed, but looming. The narrator's final words fall like a warning and a promise. If this fight is signed, if these two men walk toward each other under the lights, the world will watch not to see who wins, but to witness what boxing becomes next. Fade to black, a final beat of silence, then a whisper of static. Coming soon.